Briffault's law is one of the most important things you can learn and understand as a man, especially as a man living in the modern world. And why is that? Because Briffault's law basically tells us that the female, not the male, determines all conditions of the animal family. So according to Briffault, the man who invented this law, the female is the one who has all the power in the relationship. It may not seem that way at the first glance, but according to Robert Briffault, that's how it happens. And Robert Briffault was not just a guy. He was a novelist. He was president of a museum. He was somewhat of a philosopher. He was really a cultured guy, a cultured man that really strived to understand the nuances of human relationships. And after many years of study, many years of observation, he arrived at this conclusion. The female has the power. The female determines everything in a relationship. The male just obliges to the female's desires. And he goes even a bit beyond that point. He also tells us that the female only associates with the male if there is a glaring advantage in such association. So, if the female doesn't perceive that there is something to gain from the relationship, if she doesn't perceive that there is some very evident advantage by associating, by being in a relationship with certain men, then she will not accept being associated with that man, and she will seek another or just wait for another man who is more advantageous to approach her. And if the woman doesn't, again, if she doesn't see an advantage that is immediate or that will probably materialize in the near future, she will also not be inclined to associate with the man. So, let's say that some guy has a business that is growing slowly. She will want more immediate gains. She will want a more near advantage. So she will not invest her beauty, her her, her youth, let's say, in a man that will not be able to provide her with the lifestyle or the advantages she wants now or in the immediate future. She will not be inclined to wait for him. Many times, the man, waits for the female for this or that reason, but the female will not operate in the same manner. She will not want a guy like that, and she will not wait for him. So, taking all of this for granted and understanding and seeing all of this as true, what can we take away from Briffault's law? Well, we can conclude that unconditional love is a thing for the movies, for novels, for romances. In actuality, unconditional love is something that doesn't really exist, because according to this law, only exterior matters have importance in a relationship. So uh, the interior of the person, how the person is, um, his characteristics, his way of being, his way of talking, his aura, like is very common to say nowadays. All of that doesn't really matter that much. What matters is exterior gains, exterior advantages. So in a way, not only does unconditional love don't exist, but what exists is a much more vain, much more futile way of operating in the dating market. And so, a man's essence, his value, his intrinsic value as a human being, as a human male, is basically null. He, his worth is what he can provide. Chris Rock once said that in a comedy sketch. A man is only loved as long as he can provide something. Uh, Women, children, and dogs are have the opportunity to be truly loved, but a man is only loved if he can provide something. It may not be only money, it may not be only material possessions, but he has to provide something. He has to prove his utility. He has to prove his worth in a more physical manner. Just existing, just being um, his own self is not enough. Is not enough to maintain a relationship. But on the contrary, the female experience is very different from this. The female is often valued by society um, when she starts to become basically a woman. A woman that is, especially a woman that is beautiful and youthful, is viewed by the society as basically a treasure. She's treated like, uh, in many instances, she's treated basically like a princess, like a golden being that ingratiates us with her presence. So the female experience is very, very different from the male experience. I'm not really saying that there are no problems in the female experience. There certainly are, as there are problems in the male experience. But on this specific matter, the female has intrinsic value. She is valued by her own natural attributes. While in the man's case, that is not at all the case. He isn't valued for himself. He isn't. His condition as a human male has little worth, and he has to basically prove himself to society in order to be valued by it. So this very stark disparity between the experiences of the two sexes makes men want to struggle a lot to become something more, to fortify themselves, to become a stronger version of themselves, because they understand from an early age that only that way will they be appreciated by others, but especially by the opposite sex, by the females of of their kind. So men's struggle can lead to success, can lead to um, improved being, and can lead to a more richer and more prosperous and more um, confident man. And so he will strive to achieve those things in order to gain female attention. And this behavior is very interesting because this is not a product of modernity. It's not, we could say that now things are like that, but in the past they were not. Well, in the past, these kinds of things were more hidden from the naked eye, let's say, because there were some institutions, there were some pillars of the society that didn't allow things to go go very far, let's say. Nowadays, those things, those pillars, those institutions, those um, moral dogmas, let's say, were teared apart, were destroyed, were minimized in many societies. So nowadays, these things are more visible, but they were always there because Robert Briffault uh, noticed this in the 19th century. So this is not a thing from nowadays. This is not a modern thing. This is a way of operating that has been that way for a long time, but now is more visible than in the past. So in a way, we can say that this is a not a law typical of a period of time, but more a universal law. Just it's just the way things are. It's just the way that the male and female relationships operate. And so, if we, by understanding this law, we can more efficiently understand the world that we live in, and we can more efficiently understand that our basically our roles in society and why things are the way that they are. It's just by understanding this law, we are in effect understanding how the world operates and basically what is needed to do. And also, if we can really trust others, if we can really um, put our trust in others, or if we should guard ourselves more, because again, the immediate gains dictate the relationship. So, having that in mind, we should all guard ourselves more and be more protective of our lives and of the people we choose to hang out with. Having said all that, I thank you for listening, and if you like this, I ask you if you can like the video and subscribe. And may God bless you, and see you in the next one.